that way you guys have a visual too, okay? Yeah, certain things you want to have. If you have the laptops, maybe you can put these in and listen to them before each service until you start to get the hang of it. Yeah? Yeah. So you want to have a bag like this. If you don't have one, they're very inexpensive. I got this at Burlington Coat Factory for $20. $20. It's not expensive. Okay? This will, because you're going to be walking with his things too, when entering the church, you don't want a bunch of things like this in your hand. You want to make it on wheels, like this. Because you'll see later on that there's other bags that you're going to have, and you want to be able just to drape them over this and just walk with it like this, wherever you want to go. Okay? Inside your bag, you're going to want a towel for him. A towel. You want to put any of the drinks, or the mints that he has, or special things that he likes, inside the bag. Okay? You want to have your planner with the schedules for the days. You can get an idea of how I do that. Here is here's the last trip I went on with Steve. These are the things that I knew I needed to do before I left for the day. Okay? This is what I did before we left. Look, I've got Fresno trip, my contact numbers, even any last minute things like I had to stop by and pick up my wife, give her a kiss goodbye, right? Little things like that. Because you want to remember, because you're moving so fast, because your mind is on serving them and making sure that they're taken care of. So if you have some personal things to do, you want to make sure you put those down here. Sometimes you'll forget to get a haircut. Or ladies, the nails, you know. You want to get your nails done, right? So you want to put that inside here. Then look, I've just got, you know, support the vision of the pastor. There are certain things that Pastor Steve is going to be going over with you later as you grow in this ministry. So I made that note there because there's certain finances that I would want to take care of for Steve that he won't have to worry about. So I put that there as a reminder to me. And God will bless you for that, and we'll talk about that later today. Okay. And then I just had Fresno trip. And because Steve is so good at helping you prepare, he'll be giving you a day-by-day operations manual to help you calculate all your things that you have. If any of you go to church? Yeah? When you pay your offerings, you get to write that off at the end of the year, right? You take it to your tax person? Well, this is the same thing. All your gas, all the things, all the food that you spent, you could write that off as part of your offering. So Steve prepares a packet for you so you can do that. And he also provides contact numbers for you and things like that, so you have knowledge. Now we have an example book of how to break it up. I've given Steve that. Then we go over that. That's it. We have that silly yellow packet I gave you. And I'll show you how I took his information and put it into an individual. That way you can stay organized. Okay. Another thing you want to have is your Bible. You want to have business cards. Steve's business cards, his ministry cards. Because there'll be ministers there that visit the churches sometimes, and they'll see Steve preach, and they'll ask for his card. And you don't want Steve to have to go looking for his card or say, "Where's my card?" If you're not there, he should know that you have them. He should know that you're already prepared to give them one. All he needs to do is say, "Go see Sean, he has my card." Or he'll call for you, and he'll say like this, "Give me a business card," and you'll get the card. Because you have your bag, and it's in your bag, you just take it out and give it to him right there. You don't have to pull away from him anytime. You should be on his hip like this, waiting every command, everything that he needs. Say yes? Yes? Okay. Now this is just an example. Steve has a much nicer one, but you should always have a nice camera on you. I bought my own camera right there because I wanted to have a nice one just in case we missed anything. Yeah, it's a real one. And something digital, which he has. So you'll be taking pictures throughout the service and video clips of him while he's preaching, little video clips. Doesn't have to be every single word, because we'll learn that there's certain things that he's going to be doing with that. But you just want to be prepared. This is almost like a backup too. Because if the camera breaks or something doesn't work, I've got a chip in my camera that has over 3 hours worth of video, and it can take 1,320 pictures. So if we had 3 days worth of training, like we did out in Fresno, he preached for about an hour each time, I'm prepared to help him no matter what. Gotta have a plan B. Yeah. And then you want to have a box of tissues. Maybe he has a pair of glasses that need to be cleaned. You don't want him taking his shirt out while he's preaching, cleaning his... Or somebody he's praying for starts crying. And a lot of times, we'll go into churches where the ushers, the people that are there to serve, aren't prepared as much for them, because they'll start crying when they're praying for them. So you just want to be prepared for that. Yes. Another thing, last thing, is you want to have some hand sanitizer. After he's done praying, this should be in your pocket. Just hand it to him. Because there's all kinds of germs. People have been crying. It's going to be crazy, but a lot of times if somebody has like a devil, you know, you've seen the movie The Exorcist, you know? You remember? Say it. You know, they'll be like this, and maybe sometimes they have stuff come out of their mouth, and sometimes he'll have that on his hands, and that's what the towel's for, but then this is what that's for. Say yes? Yeah, this is important, and it's important to keep him healthy while he's out there. I know many pastors that travel on the road, and when they come back, they're sick. It's not because they are being attacked. That happens sometimes too. That's why it's important to stay in prayer. But it's because they didn't have good hygiene on the road. I've gotten sick before when I come back for not having this. So it's important that you have this.
Es importante que tengamos.
And lastly,
Por último,
have a little journal on you.
tengan una libreta
During the service,
durante el servicio.
you want to take notes of everything that he's saying.
Notas de todo lo que dice.
Maybe one day,
A lo mejor
he'll ask you to share something
te pregunta que
on what he's talking about
de lo que él está hablando.
to the people that are out there.
A la gente que está ahí.
And you want to be prepared.
Y tienes que estar
To do that.
preparado para
Okay?
hacer eso.
Okay? All right. So we're going to take a break now.